Welcome back, everybody. It's Rama from Junk Journal Divas. I'm going to jump right into it today, and I'm working on prompt list number 12, and the prompts for that are photo, scrape, and shine. So I'm going to be working on these little tea bag tags, and I've made these before, but I did some fun new things to jazz it up a little bit. So you guys, I'm going to go kind of fast. I'm speeding up the video here just for the first part, where all I'm doing is putting a back, and I want to cover the back of these photos. And these are the Tim Holtz photo booth photos. I've used a lot of different digitals, and I'm going to show you some that I've made previously, and I will link all of the digitals that I have used. So I just backed these, and I'm cutting them into squares, inking them, and then just getting them ready to cover with my tea bags. And so to do this part, it's very easy. All I'm doing is gluing it on, kind of like you're doing a decoupage. And then I'm just going to fold it over in the back. And I don't even do the little fold at the top yet. All I'm doing is covering the photo. That's all. So this part's really easy, and then just letting it dry. The only thing I would mention for this part is when you are putting the glue over the top, just kind of rub your brush a little bit more over the face, because you want to make sure that there aren't any wrinkles in that area. So I'm taking a couple of the photos, especially the ones that have a lot of black, and I'm just doing some scrapes with my makeshift sandpaper block that I have here. So you can just kind of see what it looks like. And this is just an old stamp that I took the stamp part off, and I put some sandpaper on it, and you can see it's a bell, Princess Belle stamp. So yeah, it's kind of funny when I use it, but so this part's just really easy, as grungy as you want to make it, I guess. And I'm using Mod Podge with just a little bit of water added to it, but you could use just regular school glue, works just fine also to do this. You might need to add a little bit of water to it. It just depends on the consistency of it. So this is all I'm doing, just this part, and then laying them out to let them dry. And here you can see I'm kind of going over the front part, the area where the faces are. If you have wrinkles, if you kind of push them to the edge, that actually is good for the next steps. Good morning. I am back with my tea bags that I'm working on. I've got my Divas, Junk Journal Divas coffee in hand. So this is one that I did last night. So I backed my photos, and I just wanted to kind of get some ideas here. I have a bunch of flowers and different things that I grabbed and put around here that I can maybe use. I put a little leaf on the end here with a bead, and this is yarn. I wrapped some of my fuzzy yarn around it. So this is one. And then I also used distressed crayons. So if you can see the shimmer, I used a metallic distressed crayon to go around the edges a little bit. And I want to show you, because I've made these a couple of times. So I started off with these, and I didn't put a back. Now this is good if you want to write on this. Also, something else that I did with these is I left the tea bag together, and I just slid the photos up in here, and then, you know, I kind of put some glue inside there, put the photo in, and then glue on top of it. And here's another one. It's kind of grungy. And then here are some more. These are kind of fun. I had a bunch of them, but I've used quite a few. I did the mushrooms, and instead of a string, I just put a bunch of random scraps and fiber pieces. So this is, I like these a lot, and I started doing a back on some of them. And then here's some others with photos that I just put little toppers on. This one is from Halloween, Mind Your Mummy. And then they have back sides also. So kind of making more of them because I love to put these just down in little tuck spots. So I've got all of these that have the tea bags on them. And they're all backed with some scrapbook paper. So my next thing, I've used paint before, but I'm trying to use different things. So I used distress crayons, and I also, when I was before I put the tea bag on, I did scrape. So my prompts for day 12 for pick 3 with Cree are photo, scrape, and shine. So I've kind of already got all of my prompts here. I'm just playing a little bit more. Let's play with this one because this one you can really see the scraping on the photo pretty well. When I was putting the tea bag, wrapping the tea bag around it, on the front side, I took my brush and I just kind of made sure that it was smoothed around his face, and it kind of made little ripples around, you know, around his face. So I thought that'll be great to get, you know, to put on some paint or something. It'll kind of capture those little ripples and highlight them. So I want to do that first. I'll just do a couple. Let's see. Let's pick out another one. I'll just grab these 3. Slide this one back here. And then I've got some beads because I wanted to do a string with a little dangle hanging on it. So I just grabbed a couple of beads that I had. And I have a bunch of flowers that I wanted to try. Now these are kind of big and they stick out, but I pulled off that center part and flattened it. So, and then I put a little embellishment in the middle. So that makes it a little bit better. Not that they're not so bulky, you can squash them down, but I just wanted it to be a little more flat so that it fits in to a pocket and, you know, in your journals better. I've got these little flowers. I can cut a piece off and put those on. These, I think they're going to be a little too bulky, but we'll see. And then I have these tiny little embellishments. Aren't they cute? And these are, what is that? Just like a resin, but they're so small that, you know, I could still use those somehow. I also had the idea, I grabbed some of these little jaw clips that go, you know, for a bracelet. People use them for bookmarks. They've got the loop on the end, and I thought maybe I could add one of those to like the top of the tea bag to have something hang from it. So just some little things that I want to play with, and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to use my Distress crayon. This is the package that's going to go for the winner. Package of the Distress crayons. That's one of the prizes. I've been trying to use them because they're really fun and I don't see a lot of people using them. So I am just going to, we're just going to kind of do a little bit around here, around the edges. And then just take your finger. Now you can wet it, add a little water. I did have a little cup of water and I would kind of dip my finger in there. And then, so on the back, when these were drying, the plastic, the parchment paper that I had these on had some gesso, so it pulled up some of the gesso, but I kind of like the look of it. And the other cool thing is you'll see, like, we could even add a color. Let's see if we want to add blue to this maybe, or this green color that I love, blue green. Just add a tiny bit on the front here. Okay, now let me wipe my fingers off. So what should we try with him? Maybe we want to try one of these on the top. See what fuzzy yarn looks like. That looks kind of cool. Okay, well, let's do our fold first. So I'm going to fold my tea bag here. Let's see what this would look like. So it's just kind of hanging on there right now. So let's try that. I'm going to put a little dab of glue. And then put this on. Let's make sure it's centered. And then I'll get my pliers and press that down. So this is what we have so far. I also have a bunch of charms here. Put one of these on the end. Let's put this on 2 of them. Now there's also a thing, I'm going to show you a bead. I think it's a beading needle, and I'm going to show that to you also as an option. And it's great, especially like for tassels, to put beads on the yarn and threads and stuff that you use, because this is a little hard right now to tie a knot. But I'm doing it. I'm going to put a little dab of glue here, just to hold it, hold that knot. So I'll have the little bead at the end here. So I just, when I tied that in a knot here, I just added a little dab of glue and then pulled my knot down. So like here, I'm going to clip these guys off. Now I could add more fuzzy fibers and string here if I wanted. And now I'm going to show you that needle. So this is going to be really hard to see. So if you can see, that's just a long piece of wire, and you can see it comes apart here. So the whole thing is like a huge eye, the eye of the needle. So you can open it up. So it's open here. And you put your thread in. Yarn, whatever you're using. Now you can't use too thick. If your yarn's too thick and you're trying to yank it through the bead, it will break. So they're not super strong. But here you can see. Put this through here. There we go. And then you can also, you put a bead on here and it will slide down onto your yarn. So I'm going to take one of these little roses and put this through my needle. You can see there. And then we can slide it down onto the thread. Hopefully this works. Okay, so I got it down on. Now I can take my needle off, put it somewhere where I don't lose it. I'm going to tie a knot here to hold my bead on. Okay, so here's what I have for this one. So I've got that topper. I put this little blue rose that's dangling off there. And then I have my 2 fuzzy yarns with a dangle here. I really love this color. It's like my favorite, this teal color. So I'm going to put some of this on here. And I just have a tiny bit of water here. So it's just like damp, I would say. My finger, not even really wet, but just to smear that around a little bit. So I did that part. Maybe we will add a little bit of gold also. To our fold. And then I'm going to do another one of those toppers. So I'm going to fold this twice just to make it a little thicker, to give the jaw clip, you know, something to grab onto. So here's what we got. Put some glue back here. And I've got my clip. I'm going to put a little bit of glue there. So the glue is still drying, but we've got that part done. Then I'm going to just tie these 2 pieces together. Put this little flower charm there too. Super cute, adding all these extra little details. Okay guys, I have a few more here to do, but I thought I would stop here and show you the ones that I did, because there's quite a few here. So this is the first one that I showed you that I did. And I kind of stayed with this idea of putting the string like a real tea bag. This one, where I used that little claw, I'm not sure what that's called a clamp. And I put the little beads here hanging on the end. I'm really liking the colors of these. I did this one also using a claw clip and the little dangle to kind of weigh down the the string. I've got this one, I put a little rose dangling there, and then there's another bead dangle here. And then I moved on to, I did the little girls here, and I put grommets in these. So just grommets with the little fringe here, and I put a little bead dangle and some of my flowers. I did some marker, some little dots, and added the pink distress crayons. I like this one with all the green and a little pink bead dangle. Another one, you can see the little flower dangle there. And these are die cut flowers. So another one with the green fuzzy yarn. And you guys, I keep saying that I'm gonna add more to my shop, and I still have not done that. It's been kind of a crazy month with the Pick 3 with Cree going on. So there you go. So this started off with my prompt being photo, scrape, and shine. And yeah, I went a little bit crazy as always, but it was a lot of fun. So I hope I inspired you guys to try these out, playing with the tea bags. And like I showed at the beginning, I've used a lot of different images in here. You could do botanical images or whatever you have on hand. And I'd love to see what you create. Come over to Junk Journal Divas and join me. And please leave me a comment what you've liked doing so far, or if you've tried making these. It's a great way to support the YouTubers that you watch, is to like the video, leave a comment, and that helps us out a lot. It's an easy way to support the channels that you watch. So thank you again for joining me, and I will see you next time. The next prompt is magenta, embossed paper, and stamp. So that should be a fun one. So here's just a look at the finished products that I have. The first couple ones are the ones that I did in the video, and then I did add a couple of extras that I worked on. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again for watching.